Hello. So today let's talk about three simple tips to ease your nerve pain without medication. Now, as an executive mom, you may have already mastered the art of juggling deadlines, meetings, that never-ending to-do list, all while raising your young children. But when nerve pain enters this picture or this everyday scenario for you, whether it is tingling in your hands or that numbness shooting down your legs or the burning sensation in your arms or legs, it is more than a mere distraction, right? It can just stop you in your tracks. It can be exhausting. And the last thing you want to do is rely on medications every single day. And that too, some medications that can leave you feeling foggy or fatigued, because as moms, these are two things that we already struggle with, right? So, but you don't have to live like this. Of course, medication has its own place, but not when you're like popping in painkillers every single day. So today's video, let's discuss three easy tips to reduce your nerve pain without being solely dependent on medications. Now, before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, those of you who are familiar with adrenal fatigue might know that there are lots and lots of symptoms, but the two main ones that I had were low energy levels and lack of focus or brain fog or mummy brain, as it sometimes is called. However, when you have these two symptoms, as tiny as those words seem, they can really affect your quality of life, leave alone managing your spinal or nerve pain. So here I am in the hope that I can discuss those things that have helped me and they can help you too. So, without taking more of your time, because we are moms, we are busy people, let's get into the topic for today, which is three simple tips to ease your nerve pain without medication. This is for busy executive moms or really any busy person out there. All right, so nerve pain doesn't require very big interventions or loads of painkillers every day, right? You can, to a certain extent, depending on what stage you are at, you can reduce your nerve irritation and reclaim that comfort. Without adding more prescriptions, more doctor's appointments, or etc. to your already full and busy plate, right? Now, the truth is there are some small strategic adjustments or changes on how you sit, how you move, how you work throughout the day. They can significantly reduce your discomfort. Now, I'm going to talk about three of these. So the very first one, if you've heard me for more than 2 minutes, you know I talk about this a lot, is a posture. Posture is not just about your looks. It's not when you're slumped, you look a bit, like not confident and you look a bit lazy. It's not just about looking good and standing tall. It's also affecting your nerves. So finally, your nerve pain. Now, when you have a poor posture, whether you're sitting or standing, it can compress or irritate your nerves, especially if you are one of those who spends hours at your desk or working on a laptop, whether you're working from home, in the office, at a standing desk, at a sitting desk, whatever. So what can you do? Make sure that you are not leaning forwards like this. So if you look at my ears, my earlobes are in line with my shoulder, the tip of my shoulder. So this line of my shoulder here. So I am not protruding forward. So if you protrude forward, you see how that earlobe falls in front of your shoulder. So you want to avoid that forward head posture because that creates a lot of stress on the nerves in your neck, and that, of course, can lead to a lot of nerve pain in your arms and forearms and shoulder area. Now, when you're sitting, try and sit with a cushion or a roll up a towel, or you can use one of those ergonomic lumbar rolls. Okay, I'll come to the details of that roll later. So support your lower back with that. So you have a curve in your lower back. It's a natural curve. However, sometimes when we muscles are not strong or you're sitting in a poor posture, tend to slump like this. Instead of that, pop that pillow or that lumbar cushion or the rolled up towel. You can take a bath towel, you can roll it up, and you can pop it into the small of your back. Of course, that can be done when you're not at work, but at home. If you are one of those who crosses your legs or you sit with one foot tucked under your bottom, it's okay. Most of the people will tell you not to do it as long as, say, if you have your left leg on the top and then after a while you change. So you have your right leg on the top. Or if you're tucking in your left foot, then you want to tuck in your right foot. Ideally, I would say try not to tuck your foot under your bottom. But if you are one of those who just finds it very comfortable and you can't get out of the habit, take turns crossing your legs or tucking them under your bottom. Now, how would you, so this is a very, I would say a very superficial view that I'm giving you. However, if you want to get more into these topics of forward head posture, those back, how do you sit properly so that your back is in a correct alignment? How do you sit, when you have, where do your legs have to be when you're sitting, etc. You can have a look at my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of videos on that. So you can go, you can not Google, sorry, you can go on to YouTube search bar and write my name, Swati Prakash, and posture. It'll come up for you. Another thing you can do is I have written a blog on the same topic that we're talking about. That blog has a lot more details. It'll give you the lumbar cushion that I have used and I like. Obviously, you can get any of them, but if you are interested, you can have a look at that blog. Also, it has a video. How do you know if you have a good sitting posture? So it takes you through a couple of points. And of course, there's also something called a posture reset that I'll just address. Posture reset takes you through how to reset your posture to be in a good neutral alignment, right? So you are not irritating, compressing your nerves, whether it's in the neck or in the back, and then avoiding nerve pain. So moving on, I'll tell you more about what's in the blog because it's relevant towards the end, but let's move on. So there's something called Nerve Smart Ergonomics, right? So it matters the angle of your wrist, how high is your screen, um, are you using one of those mouse where you are like repeatedly clicking onto the mouse? All this matters. Use an ergonomic mouse if possible. Use a wrist pad. So what happens is when you are, okay, let me just get my diary here. So suppose this is your table and you are holding a mouse, right? So do you see how this is, my wrist is inclined upwards. This is the neutral position of my wrist. Now, when you have a wrist pad, again, the link to the one that I have used in the past is, I mean, I don't use it anymore because I don't use the mouse so much. I use an ergonomic one. But you can get an ergonomic mouse in which you don't have to hold the mouse like this. You can hold it like this. So your wrist stays in a neutral position. So neutral means this is a straight line from your middle finger to the middle of your forearm. And if you look at it from the side, this line to the little finger, this is a straight line, so you're not bent up or down. Anyway, moving on. So you can roll up a butt, not a butt towel, sorry, your face towel, and you can put it your under your wrist here. The moment you do that, you'll be able to hold the mouse while keeping your wrist in a neutral position. So these small adjustments, they really matter. Again, you can find the details in that blog I talked about. Okay. Another thing is sitting for a prolonged period of time without movement is one thing that will eventually lead to neck pain, back pain, mid back pain, nerve pain, and a lot of other problems. You might have heard of the term sitting disease. It is a real um, and a recognized disease, which is sitting, because our generation does that quite a fair. I mean, nowadays, everybody really, not just our generation, even the little ones, they are sitting for too long. Get an adjustable standing desk. You can go from sitting to standing, or you can do some posture resets, the one I just referred to. So those posture resets, take breaks in between. It is very important to reset your posture, to de-stress your spine, to de-stress those nerves by moving. If nothing else, just get up, go get a glass of water, go to the printer, get a printout. You can do things like this that seem very trivial, but they make a big difference. Now, in that blog that I have written on the same topic, there is a free guide for you. It is called Quick Office Stretches for Nerve Pain Relief. Now, you can get some simple solutions to manage your sciatica, your nerve pain. So basically, this is a resource that I've put together. It's simple. Obviously, anything I do, I try and keep it simple because we are busy moms, so we don't want complicated things, right? So it's a simple yet effective strategies that you can do while you're sitting at your desk. It will help you to relieve your nerve pain, your tingling, numbness, etc., all the symptoms of your nerve pain. So basically, all I want to say is you don't need to push through the pain, because I know that's what we believe inherently. And I used to believe that too, but you don't have to push through the pain. When you are used to powering through that discomfort, it's easy to ignore the signals that your body is sending. But these small daily shifts can make a big difference between that chronic nerve pain and you finally feeling in control of your body again. All right, so that's it. That's all I had for you today. Now, if you have any questions, any comments for me, if I talked about something that you don't quite understand, let me know, and I will leave a link to that blog on this topic. I will leave a link in the description of this video. If you can't find it, if you're a busy mom and you can't be bothered to find it, message me. I'll send it across to you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time.